And we are on. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the first episode of Militant Mind Media. Militant Mind Media brought to you by the Militant Mind Militia. Now, you may be asking, what is the Militant Mind Militia? What is the Militant Mind Militia? If you can remember, maybe 10 years ago, a little bit more than 10 years ago, a couple of warrior scholars, we got together and for a year, we formed something called the Militant Mind Militia. And we were a think tank. We were a super group of conscious thinkers. And we mostly dealt with hip hop during that period. We mostly dealt with hip hop during that period. And for a whole year, there are about 12 brothers and sisters, and every week we would have a talk show. We would challenge people based on information, and that went on for a year, but that was about 10 years ago. So now with all the talk about Project 2025 and all the things happening in the community, what better time for us to bring the Militant Mind Militia back? But this time, the Militant Mind Militia is connected to the streets. Not an internet program. We use the internet or social media as a tool, but our main focus is to connect with the streets in our own community. We call it panhoodism. Panhoodism, connecting to the streets in your own community, because panhoodism teaches. How can we talk about uniting African people throughout the diaspora when we haven't even connected with the people down the street? How can we talk about stopping the killing in another country and getting Black people together in another country when brothers and sisters, children are killing each other in the streets of Durham? So panhoodism teaches that the road to uniting all African people starts in your own hood. The road to the journey, the long journey to connecting all African people starts in your own hood. So that's panhoodism, and that is what the Militant Mind Militia is built on. A group of warrior scholars starting in Durham, North Carolina, who are dedicated in giving this knowledge to the hood. Dedicated because a lot of times we talk among ourselves. We like to preach to the choir. I've read Dr. Ben, and I've read Dr. Clark, and I've read this book, and I've read that book. But how does that apply to your own hood? How does that apply to your own neighborhood? Instead of preaching to the choir, the Militant Mind Militia is a pipeline to give knowledge to the streets. So we got an exciting first show tonight. I want to thank everybody for joining. I see Brother Kevin's in the room, Brother Matt Mello's in the room, Sister Donna's in the room. I want to thank everybody who is watching live and who will watch it on our new YouTube channel, Militant Mind Media. Militant Mind Media. So with that, we got an exciting show tonight. Bringing up the group MCE, the revolutionary hip-hop group MCE. And we have one of the members that we're bringing on now, Brother Said Adams. Brother Said Adams. And I believe they are based in Arkansas. Is that correct, brother?
Yeah, peace, brother. Was good. Yeah, Pablo, Arkansas.
Yes, sir. So thank you, brother, for being on the first show. I've listened to your work. I've watched the videos, and honestly, the first time I heard your music, first thing that popped in my head was blues and hip hop. It kind of had like a bluesy type, down home, kind of like a record, huh?
Yeah, it is, man. It's the South, because I'm originally from Chicago myself, so it's kind of like the South the Chicago is influenced by the blues and jazz as well. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be in there what we got going on. Because hip hop is based off that to me, jazz and blues.
Yeah, and I thought about Arrested Development, but yours is it's
Yeah,
different. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You all have that kind of vibe of speech in them,
yeah,
but it's still kind of different. It's your own
yeah,
vibe. People won't listen to it. Say, "Oh, they're trying to be Arrested Development." No, you got your own vibe. So
yeah,
yeah,
man. It's all of us like we got a singer in the group and we got two MCs and me and brother OB, man, we the same age and our singer, he's older than us, so it's those different connections that mix in with what we doing as far as hip hop goes. But the route we doing for the music that we doing is our purpose is for the people,
right. And
beginning and the end. Yeah,
that's evident in your music.
yeah,
And me and brother Obafemi, we have been communicating on social media for about a year.
yeah,
And it's not even been about the music, it's been about the knowledge.
yeah,
So I like that because a lot of times, it becomes about the music and listen to my music and all about the music. But nah, we were
yeah,
building on knowledge
yeah.
before we even got to the music part. So I like that, brother. So we're going to bring the brother in, brother Obafemi. Did I pronounce your name correctly, brother? You're on, I can unmute you, I think. Unmute yourself, bro. Can't hear you. Let me try to unmute on my end. Okay, try it now. Try to unmute. Still can't hear.
Yeah, I can't hear.
Let's see, edit mic. Let me make sure it's not on. Now, you should. You're looking good on my end. Okay, brother. Oh, now you let's see. And we have Sister Spitfire, who is our Minister of Information for the Militant Mind Militia. Sometimes you have to refresh by going out and coming back in. That's why she's my little sidekick. Yeah, try to go back out and come back in, brother. All right. But brother said, continue.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's that the age has plays a lot in it. But like I said, we do the music for the people. And at the end of the day, it's not about money, how much money we making, how many records you sell. It's who we hitting with the who are we touching with the music that we're doing.
Mm. As well it should be.
Yeah.
So give me, peace, Sister Kia. Um, give me a history of the group.
Man, me and well, my brother in law who was the singer of the group, me and him had got together and did some things and I ended up meeting my brother OB from another partner of ours, Big Grip. So shout out Big Grip, man. But OB was doing production as far as the beats go. And me and him started clicking on that end and I started seeing some of the stuff that he was talking about and he saw some of the stuff I was talking about. And we kind of said, yo, man, maybe we need to collab and do something together, you know.
And
And
what
we
year?
just brought my brother in law in.
And what year are we talking about?
Yeah, we talking about like around 2010, somewhere around there, 2010, 2012, somewhere up in there.
Okay.
So it's been a while.
All right. Um, let's see, brother. You still coming up on mute?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes,
Yeah, we
sir.
hear you.
There we go. Greetings, brother.
Peace, peace. What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we hear
You're
you.
good. You're good.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
good.
I was just telling him, man, about us connecting. We first got together, man, with the group.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah. And what were you all's musically? What were your influences? Who were your influences?
Man,
Man.
musical influences. I mean, man, anything from Marvin Gaye to Bob Marley and the Wailers to Ghetto Boys to NWA.
Yeah.
You know, X Clan, Dead Prez. Man, just the host, Tribe Called Quest.
Mm.
This,
I
you
know,
know,
I
I
know,
listen.
I know.
Go ahead, bro.
No, I said my biggest was Earth, Wind, and Fire, man.
Mm. Mm. Earlier, Friday has that line. What's that song where he says that if it ain't no beauty, you got to create some beauty?
Yeah.
What's the song? Be Ever Wonderful? Is that it?
Yeah, Be Ever Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, if it ain't no beauty, you got to create some beauty. That's powerful. That's powerful.
It is powerful, man.
Yeah. So you all started at around 2012. Brother Obi,
Yo,
Brother Obafemi, let me ask you this question. Because we started connecting on the scholarship tip.
Mhm.
And I know this is probably a rhetorical question. What role does your scholarship play in your music? You know, I know, but just for the viewers, and giving a shout out to our ambassador of the Militant Mind Militia, Sister Joy. She's in the building. So, what
all
role
right,
does
peace.
scholarship play in your music, brother?
Um, man, I think that for me, just coming into knowledge itself and having the mindset that there was so much stuff that I didn't know, and going through the public school
Mm-hmm.
system and all of that, like, I thought I was
Man.
pretty intelligent, but I didn't know much about myself. You know what I'm saying? I had to find out a lot of that later on. So I'm like, man, if I didn't know this, I'm pretty sure. I went through GT and advanced classes through school and all of that. So I was like, well, man, if I didn't learn this stuff and I was in these advanced classes and this and this and that, the average black person don't know this. So I said, well, I need to be able to
Right.
utilize this music and put accurate information. You know what I'm saying? That's I mean, I would say research based, but I mean, you got different levels of research. You got that firsthand research, people going to those places, studying the original manuscripts, talking to, you got different levels of research. So I wanted to bring scholarship from those who have done that first level of scholarship into the music of to give people some accurate history, our story, some not just our story, but inspiration to want to know. Like you we in a day and age where we got to make this attractive to people. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
just telling people you need to know your history ain't enough. Like we have to make it attractive. So putting it through the
Yeah.
music hopefully is making it more attractive and appealing to people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, brother said, let me ask this question. And this
Mhm.
is, and we're going through the history of hip hop and everything, but when you're talking about moving or making it attractive to people, the thing is, how can you make it attractive to people without losing the knowledge? Because a lot of people have tried in the past to combine the two. And actually, either one of you all can answer this question, but I just wanted to kick it to say it first. A lot of
Yeah.
people have tried to combine the two. But when you're
Mhm.
dealing in a capitalist system, sometimes it tends to venture away. So how do you
Yeah.
keep that fighting the power with your music? How's that happen?
And I just say stay you, stay authentic. I mean, well, there's no other way. You know, just keep staying steadfast and doing what we're doing, or
Mm-hmm.
whoever the artist is doing what they doing, man. That's what I say, man. You know, I know my mission, and like I said, it's not money, it's not fame, it ain't that. It's to get this message out, to get what I know out, and I just got to keep doing it. You know, and the more you do it, the more you're gonna connect with other people who are doing it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
But let me
you
add.
running,
Go
you
ahead.
running. Uh huh.
Now go ahead, bro. I thought you was done.
Oh no, no. Go ahead, man. No, I was just saying like you're gonna meet other people, you're gonna be in their circles, and y'all, you know, we all bounce off each other because we're on the same mission as far as what we're doing. But it people used to what they used to, but
Mm,
there are people out here who want this.
right.
So if they want it, we here to deliver. So you know, I just keep that in my head, man, because you know it's the media is one of the biggest things that keep pushing this machine they got. And you ain't
Mm.
gonna outsmart or outwit the media. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta stay steadfast on what you doing.
Yeah, and that's my thing, brother. How do we have this whole spook that's set by the door kind of
Hmm.
mentality? How are you going to
Yeah,
outsmart people who have been doing it for 2,000 years?
I know. You you're
You
not
don't
gonna
think they
outsmart them, man.
thought about in 2,000 years, you don't think they thought about every existing scenario that can happen. They've been ruling the planet for 2,000 years, and you think you're
Yeah,
going to outsmart them.
yeah, you I
Playing
mean,
their
even when
game,
it comes to
playing their
yeah, when it
game.
comes to conscious music. Yeah, when it comes to the conscious music or you say black power music, they smart enough to know, well, if that's gonna make money, we're gonna find somebody we can use in there too. You know, it's just common sense, man. So it's just staying authentic, staying in your means and knowing what the goal is.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Brother O, what is your opinion? And give me your opinion and timeline of the what's known as the conscious hip hop era.
Um, the conscious hip hop era, I would say. So let me just preface this. I'm born in '79, so
Okay.
in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. So we didn't even have radio stations that played hip hop until about 86, 87 here.
Wow. Well,
Mm,
You
isn't that
understand what I'm
true?
saying?
mm,
So
yeah.
just to kind of put this in perspective. So my introduction to hip hop was, you know, Houdini, UTFO, the Fat Boys, Run DMC, stuff like that.
Right.
Um, so as that kind of grew into, I saw Cool Mo D. I saw people started to wear the African medallions and that type of stuff. So in I would say around 87, 88, uh, you know, like I say I'm around 8, 9, 10 years old, Boogie Down Productions,
Mm-hmm.
X Clan, Poor Righteous Teachers. So I would say around 87, 88 to about maybe 91, 92. I would say, that was kind of like the height of, hearing and seeing conscious black empowerment, revolutionary hip hop in the mainstream. Like you know, I saw X-Clan on the album, on the magazine covers, you know, Vibe and the Source and stuff, you know. So we saw them on the video shows, you know. During that time, that's when a lot of us were getting access to these artists is through the video show. So I was rushing
Right.
home to see Rap City and stuff like this. So being able to see
Yeah.
these artists, X-Clan came to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It came to the I was in junior high, but they came to the high school here, and the administration didn't even want to let them on campus because they already kind of knew what, you know, what they was about. So yeah, you know, that was, I would say that's the height. I would say between 88 to about 92.
Uh-huh. What say you, brother? Said.
Man, to me, when it's conscious, I look at different sides of it, man. Like for instance, you know, in the '90s, I grew up listening to, let's say, Spice One, and you know, and their consciousness was the drugs around them in the area, the gang banging they had in the area. So that's what they put in the music. As far as the conscious, they were like reporting what it was on the West Coast. So if you were in Chicago, you somewhere else, you didn't know what was going on. They were reporting that to you, and you got a kind of insight on that. So they were conscious of what was going on there. The To me, with the conscious thing, you know, the issue I have with conscious before I say that is now it's not a conscious thing. Now they just create
Mm.
people, creating
Mhm.
rappers. Like rappers used to be, rappers talked about and emulated what was out in the street. Now people emulating rappers, you know,
Right.
as far as when it comes to consciousness. But to me, consciousness, like what bro said, man, like I said, in Chicago, we get hit with so much up there at the time when I was coming up. So you had, you know, the poor righteous teachers, and then you had Chicago with house music, and then you had, you know, saying the South bass coming through, like everything coming through the Midwest, you know. So I would say on that timeline, you know, somewhere between, like you said, 79 to like 92
Mm.
is when you saw videos like all in the same gang, and you know that type of thing. You saw it on a regular basis that you don't see now. You know what I'm saying? And when you see it right now, it's kind of like, wow, that's amazing right there, man. They actually did, you know, when it used to be a norm type thing when it came to conscious music, you know,
Mm.
or conscious hip hop.
Right. Right. Because I would agree. I would point to the year 88 through 92. I would
Yeah.
start with It Takes a Nation of Men to Hold Us Back. And
Yeah.
I would end the era April 29th, 1992, at the LA Rebellion, because there's something we
Mm,
call the hip hop conspiracy. And that was when a lot of people say that when the gangsters in LA started
mhm.
going after the LA Rebellion, or they call the Rodney King beating verdict.
Yeah.
That's what you misname it. The gangsters back got on with Ted Koppel, and they started
Mhm.
talking, quoting Kwame Ture. They started quoting Malcolm, and they asked the reporter, like, "Well, where did you get this information?" They said, "We got it from hip hop. We got it
Yeah.
from hip hop." And people believe that, and I believe as well. At that point, they said, "Now we gotta destroy this thing." However, I will say,
Yeah.
out of those 4 years of conscious hip hop, 88 through 92, I would say only the first 2 years it was directed at us. Let me say it again. Out of those 4 years of conscious hip hop from 88 to 92, I would say only the first 2 years it was directed at us. It was teaching us. It was aimed at
Yeah.
black people. Because when it became popular around 1990 and
Yeah.
fully embraced by MTV, even the conscious rappers became goodwill ambassadors. And their
Yeah.
mission wasn't so much to teach black people about themselves, it was to teach white people about black
Yeah.
people. You remember back
Yeah.
in the day, Ice-T used to say 98% of hip hop, this was like 88, 89. He was like, well, 98% of hip hop is purchased by white people.
My wife. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think, and I think later he
Right.
said he just came up with that figure off the top of his head, but he wasn't that far from it because I've talked to my
Nah,
friends from that area in the industry, and they will tell you
yeah,
those concerts, even amongst the most pro-black militant groups, you look at the
yeah,
audience,
yeah,
75% white.
yeah. I agree.
75% white listening to X Clan. So I would say when MTV blew it up and made it and
Yeah,
took it out the tri-state area, they started playing it more mainstream on the radio. I would say it more became about informing white people about what's going on in the hood. Your thoughts,
Let,
brothers?
oh yeah,
let me add to that perspective. Um, even with that, like the same way they gravitate to the gangster rap,
Mm-hmm.
it's the same thing. It's the same way they would gravitate to the what we call the conscious rap. At the root of it all, it's rebellious. It's going against the system.
Right.
And
yeah,
so what white teens, white males, when they in that teenage phase of rebelling against their parents, like this music provides the soundtrack, no matter whether it's it's on the positive end or it's on the
yeah,
negative end. Like they eating it up both ways, because even if we talk about black empowerment, it's still we talk about rebelling against the system. Well,
Right.
that still fits into their psyche. You know what I'm saying? It's rebel. It's just that's just how they operate. Even with
yeah,
the gangster rap, I'm we still saying, a lot of the gangster rappers are saying it in a certain way that they are anti-establishment
Mm-hmm.
to a certain degree, and they still gravitate that toward that too. I think that you are definitely on point with saying them first 2 years were targeted towards us, learning and teaching about us and who we are. Like the focus was primarily on us versus trying to entertain the masses and just loosen. I would say loosen the reins of
yeah,
where we're focusing our energy to, because so many people, like you said, there's so much stuff I learned from just listening to hip hop. Like Edutainment is one of my favorite albums. I
Yes.
I I
Boogie Down
learned
Production.
from this
Yes.
album. There's stuff that's stuck in my brain from 11 years old that I carried with me and was able to reflect on in my adulthood. But had I not heard this particular album, like there was so many references. So as I learned on my journey, I'm like, wow, like KRS was talking about this. Like he was dropping them jewels. So I had those reference points. Hip hop gave me so many reference points during
Brother,
that time period.
how did the album start off? Remember the first when he dropped it? How did it start off? Do you remember?
I don't know who was speaking, but there's a lecture on.
Yeah, but he said at the very beginning, Blastmaster KRS-One comes up. He says, "Take the pillow from your head
And
and
put a
put a
book in
book
it.
in it." That's how we started it off. Take a pillow from your head and put a book in it. But continue, brother.
Yeah, definitely. No, I was just saying, man, like hip hop is giving me so many reference points to knowledge and information. I had to go back and get X Clan, and as I was listening, to their first album, I was just like, man, these brothers was, like I said, I was kind of young, so to me, that was kind of like before their time, because the messages that they was dropping as a 8, 9 year old boy, like that was heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like they talking about some stuff like if you didn't study
yeah,
or do no research, you just gonna be totally lost.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of made you want to have some reference points. And I think that some of our people intentionally you know, with influence from the industry for money to just dumb the music down. You know, we don't need
Yeah.
them thinking too much. We just need to keep them
That,
dancing, keep them smoking, keep them drinking, and they ain't gonna be thinking about that other stuff. You know, so
yeah.
the music reflects that now.
Man,
Well said.
it was a time period, man. I woke up and played one of my favorite songs, Razzcast, Nature of the Threat.
8 minutes of
I mean,
history.
man,
Eight minutes
I
of
wake up and I
European
put
history.
that
Go ahead.
it was the time I was the start of my day like that, man. I'm like, man, bro, like they ain't gonna I mean, that brother went through a whole lot of stuff, man. Like, I wonder why, I wonder why he went through all this. You didn't know, now you know, like, man, he said this. You know what I'm
Look
saying?
up
Like,
nature for you all in the audience. If you've never studied European history, go to YouTube and type in Razzcast Nature of the Threat. It will
hey,
give you more history, European history, than you got in high school. And he even
yeah,
name dropped the scholars. Before
yeah,
everybody was talking about Barishango, he name
yeah,
dropped the Shaka Musa Barishango in the song. This
yeah,
is what, 96? 96?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, 95, 96. This up there.
Mm-hmm. So
So,
let's talk. Okay, go ahead, brother.
no. I was right. I'm agreeing with you. I said, so man, hey, it's there, and like I said, like bro just said, you can hear it, and they'll try to put it in there, but they tied it as money, you know, and this money got them to the point where, and I need this more than I need my pride. I need this more than I need to help my people out.
Now, good point, brother. Now, since we have scholars in the audience and scholars on the live, let's slow walk how they dismantle conscious hip hop. Let's slow walk it. Step number one, they got Professor Griff kicked out of Public Enemy in 1989. That was step one. Griff quoted Steve Coakley in regards to the Jewish community. They got Professor Griff on a off record quote, kicked out of Public Enemy. That was the first thing they did. Y'all remember that? They got Griff kicked out of Public Enemy. That's why Griff is on Nation of Millions. Then you don't see Griff anymore until he got game. That's the first thing they did. They went after Sister Soldier, this dude right here. He talks about it. Bill Clinton, who some of y'all call the first black president. Slick Willie. I got this book for like a quarter. My Life,
Hey,
Bill Clinton. He talks about what he did to Sister Soldier.
Should have got it for free.
Negroes in Arkansas voted him in the Black Hall of Fame, man.
Black Hall
It
of Fame?
did. Yeah,
In
yeah,
My
Arkansas.
people are destroyed by the lack of knowledge. Anyway, Bill Clinton was right after LA Rebellion in 1992. Sister Soldier, the author, who became an author, she made a statement. She said, and I don't want this taken down, so how do they say it? She said, black people unalive black people every day. What if black people unalive white people one weekend? She wasn't telling anybody to do it. She was making a reference to the lack of respect for black life. I think she was quoting Dr. Bobby E. Wright and one of his essays in the psychopathic racial personality. If you don't have that book, pick it up.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up.
Psychopathic racial personality, Dr. Bobby E. Wright. Now, she said that Bill Clinton in this book said because he had stood against racism, he felt compelled to bum rush Reverend Jesse Jackson's Rainbow Coalition spot and denounce Sister Soldier. After one album, after Bill Clinton did that to her, no more Sister Soldier. She resurfaced a couple years later as an author. No more rapper or author. That's the second thing they did. They also, and the third thing I want to point out was Cop Killer. Cop Killer. Ice-T wasn't even a rap album, was a heavy metal band. Came out with a song called Cop Killer around the time of the LA Rebellion. Time Warner made him pull the record. Time Warner made him pull the record. So those are three key things they did, periods in history, where they took down or dismantled conscious hip hop. And what they did was they sent a shock wave through the industry. My theory is they sent a shock wave through the industry that says, and if you all do that conscious stuff and veer away from that gangster stuff, you see what happened to Griff, you see what happened to Soldier, you see how Ice-T became a cop on TV. That's going to happen to you. Your thoughts, brothers?
Hey, yo, I like to add this. I like to add this in. Now, I don't know if it was told to put this in there, but if you remember on Dr. Dre album, The Chronic, he had a song called "Let Me Ride." Right? On the second verse, Dre says, "Just another MF day for Dre, so I begin like this. No medallions, dreadlocks, or black fits. It's just that gangster glare, that gangster rap, that gangster makes a gang of snaps."
Like a gang of snaps.
Yo, that was the nail
Come
in the
on, man.
coffin. That was the nail
Yep.
in the coffin right there.
And I got the paperwork
Indeed.
documented. Get this. I got it on my bookshelf. It's in the Vibe Anthology of Hip Hop. The Vibe Anthology of Hip Hop, where NWA was a calculated scheme to use them to replace Public Enemy. It's in the Vibe Anthology of Hip Hop. I'm gonna tell you where else you can find it. Go to that NWA Arsenio Hall interview from around 1990. They talk
I remember that too.
Yeah, go back and watch that Arsenio Hall NWA, that first NWA video before Easy left. It's there. The documentation is there, but they know we ain't looking for it.
No.
Continue, brother.
And that's the problem. And that's the problem that we're not looking for it. But you hear so many people say, "Man, we need this or we need that," and it's like, well, we doing that. There's a lot of other people doing that. But are you gonna support us?
Right.
You know? So I mean we could say we want this and want that, but we gotta show and prove that we want this and want that.
Indeed.
You know, we can't sit back and say we waiting on them to give us some better music or some better this. They not gonna do it. You can see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And my generation, we on that same line, we've been talking about for the last 30 years Oh, when's conscious hip hop going to come back? When's it going to come back?
Yeah.
It's not coming back in the form that you want it to. See, a lot of people, when they say, when is the conscious hip hop era going to come back? You want it to come back. Well, not y'all, but they wanted to come back in the same form it came back in 1988, where you can ride down the street and listen to Public Enemy on the radio. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
People don't even listen to radio anymore.
Right.
So the
Right.
manifestation of the consciousness you want, it ain't coming back in that way. The way it's coming back is the way it
Now,
never
to me,
was. My brothers like you all. Go ahead.
yeah, to me, the form of it coming back is when you say you got lyricists, like when you got the battle between lyricists and mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
What you call underground hip hop never left. Is underground hip hop, any city, any state has always been that. It's always been there. It's always been that far. We just been looking at what they've been tuning in on TV to us. But what you call the lyricists, or back in the day, it said your favorite rapper, those people always put that type of consciousness in their lyrics, in their music.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you call them lyricists, you know?
Who would you all
Yeah.
say?
I also
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I also think that like you said, if you if you want conscious music today, you have to for one, you got to find it. Like just a quick story. I went to the military. I came home in 1999. I had been in Korea for a year. I got out of active duty 1999, and when I came home, um, I had been listening to the radio. I hadn't heard American radio. I was buying rap magazines to kind of see what was coming out, but I wasn't hearing what was on the radio for like 2 years.
Mm.
So when I came home, automatically, like late 99, early 2000, like some sounded off with the music. Like I'm like, something ain't right. Like the music sounded like it was purposely being dumbed down. I'm like, man, like where's the substance? I ain't hearing no substance no more. And that's one of the things that made me want to start doing music. I'm like, yo, I know I can make something that's more intelligent than this. Like,
Hey,
so I'm saying all that to say, if you want conscious music today, you got to, it's out here. It's out here. You may have to do a Google search, but it's tons and tons of artists out here. But
yeah,
what we up against is a multi-billion-dollar industry that's programming folks
Billion.
from the womb to the tomb. So that's
Billion.
yeah. We
yeah.
that's what we're fighting against. So
Hey, brother,
and it don't take no
when they,
days off. It's 24/7, 365. It don't every day of
yeah,
every hour it's being programmed. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So that's what we working. That's what we working against. We just trying to provide some balance on the other side, so people who tired of that, they got something to go to.
yeah. When the machine saw Fresh Prince of Bel Air get a Grammy, they knew it was profitable.
Mm.
You know,
And they
you know, it,
boycotted the Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff. They boycotted their Grammy Award back in 88, 89, 88, I think, because they boycotted the Grammys because they wouldn't allow rap acts to perform on the
yeah,
Grammys. So they
yeah.
boycotted. Shout out to Will Smith for them for doing that.
But that
I didn't even
machine
know that.
understand how much. Yeah, but this machine understand how much money they can make from that though, and how
Yes,
much
sir.
people wanted rap. So they're gonna keep pushing it, no matter how rap changes. They're gonna follow wherever trend rap goes and do it. That's why I said it's on us to control it. I know at one time me and Brother Hill was talking about how back in the day they had the tilling circuit. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
all these different jazz, blues, musician, R&B. You know, someone on the lines that has to be done again in our
Right.
own way though. Can't be called a children's circuit though.
Mm. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Um, we got about 10 minutes left, brothers.
Mm.
Brother Obafemi, tell us about your book, because you're an author as well. Tell us about your book and how people can get your book.
Yo, so I wrote a children's book published last year called Every Day is a Sunday. So the book is about a young black boy who's being homeschooled in a culturally centered environment. So it goes through his life in a week's time to see what he does with his mother, his father, his family, what they do, some of the stuff they do in the community. And it touches on aspects of health and wellness, African spirituality, some of our holidays and observances. So every day is a Sunday. The concept, Sunday is the day, or typically the day that black families would get together, have a meal, everybody's together. And so every day as a Sunday is creating that type of environment on a daily basis. So the child is learning and is being homeschooled, but is not really doing something that's formal every day. So his educational experience is his socialization with his family, with his community. So that's the basis of the book. I also have an activity book to go along with it that kind of expounds on some of the themes and lessons that are in the book. It's out right now. You can get it on Amazon. That's Every Day is a Sunday by Obafemi Kinsie Delele. I got an ebook version and a soft cover version, and you can get the activity book directly through me. So. And I'm getting
Indeed,
ready to
indeed.
release my second book by the end of this month. It's called Imani in the Wisdom Tree. So that's going to be out
Mm.
by the end of August.
And your social media website is
Social media, everything is 9 Obafemi. 9
the number 9.
Obafemi.
The number 9?
Yeah, the number 9 Oba and Femi. That's on all
Perfect.
my that's on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Linktree, all of that. So you can find me at 9 Obafemi.
Perfect. Perfect. And Brother Said, tell us about how people can get in contact with you all about the music, tours, music, downloads, whatever you want to promote.
Uh, you can catch me. I do. I'm an artist, photographer, videographer. I do most of our videos that you've seen. You can
Mm,
catch me at CEDADAMZ on Instagram, YouTube, and man, you can catch us at MCE Soul Music. MCESOLMUZIK, man. We on all streaming platforms. We on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Any platform you can stream on, you're gonna catch our music right there, man.
perfect. Perfect. Brothers, I want to thank you all for coming on the show. And when I run this back on YouTube, I'm going to put all that information in the YouTube because I'm setting up a YouTube channel. Well, I've set up a YouTube channel as well, called, and I'm going to put it and I'm going to put the information in the video once I get off too. So people who aren't watching it live, they have access to it. So perfect, perfect. Um, I want to thank you, brothers, for coming on. Do you have any more closing words before we close out?
Man,
Yo,
hey, brother,
brother.
I want to thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, man. Thank you, brother. You've been putting in the work for decades, man. I don't know if I told you, like I said, man, I know this brother. I didn't seen this brother on TV being interviewed. I think I read some articles from some rap magazines from him. I said, man, and I was telling Sid, I said, man, we need to, we need to tap in with this brother, man. I like the work that you're doing in the community. You ain't just talking about what we need to do. You putting boots on the ground, putting information into our people's hands, firsthand. It ain't just you sharing a bunch of posts. Like you putting physical stuff in people's hands. You know what I'm saying? That's making a difference, brother. So I definitely applaud the work and commitment that you've given us, man, over the years, brother. Salute to you, man. Definitely.
Appreciate you, brother. And this is one of the things that we're doing with the Militant Mind Militia. The Militant Mind Militia, as people may know, we started something called the Black Hoodie Brigade, where there's no leader, just brothers and sisters spreading knowledge. But we need something more structured. We need a group that's going to lead by example. So we came up again, the Militant Mind Militia, and the purpose is not to only be on social media, but to be connected with the hood. Not to only be on social media, but be a direct pipeline to get this information, the wisdom of our master teachers and warrior scholars. How do we get that directly in the hood, starting in our own cities, and in our case, starting in Durham, North Carolina? But if other people in other cities want to start a division, DM me, hit me up, and we'll make it happen. So again, brothers, I appreciate you. It's been an honor. Shout out again to the members of the Militant Mind Militia who are on the chat. Sister Spitfire, Sister Sharon, who is our Minister of Information, and Sister Joyce Spencer, who is the Militant Mind Militia Ambassador. She's our ambassador. So, and everybody else who's joined in tonight, if you want to join the Militant Mind Militia in Durham, remember there's a 30-day process. Read a Black history book. Dedicate 4 hours of boots on the ground work in that 30 days. And then also go to one community meeting. That way we'll know you're not just bull jiving. That if you dedicate in 30 days, you read one Black history book, put 4 hours of some kind of on-the-ground community work, even if it's going out in the community with me, and going to one community event, city council meeting, school board meeting, do those things within 30 days, and then you'll be in the Militant Mind Militia. Again, brothers, I appreciate you. We got to have you on again. It's been an honor. And again, share this video. It's going to be on Facebook. It's going to be on the Black Hoodie Brigade page. It's going to be on Peace. Brother Rafiq just chimed in. It's going to be on Militant Mind Media. Militant Mind Media on YouTube. As soon as we get done here later on tonight, I'm going to download it on Militant Mind Media. So, appreciate you, brothers.
Appreciate you, brother.
Let's use it to free our people. Peace.
Peace.